Meat City, baby.
Hello and welcome back to Meat City Gaming. JD here with another episode of Tune Up here in World of Tanks on the console version, and today we are in Steppes, and we are once again in a 5-person platoon. I'm teamed up with members of the T-Rex clan, and we are top tier in our Type 59s, with the exception of, I believe, WoT is in a Super Pershing. Premium matchmaking for the win. One of the great things about a Type 59 platoon is that you will only see Tier 8 or Tier 9 games, and that's a nice thing. If you end up top tier in a 5-person platoon, you can really have an influence on the battle. So hopefully today, that's what we're going to see. Some good teamwork, a close battle. Of course, as the matchmaker usually does its job pretty well, it did so here, and we are matched up with a 5-person platoon on the other team, also top tier, and they are members of the TNB clan. So it is going to be the performance of those 2 platoons, 5 tanks on top tier, that will really influence the battle. There's nothing stopping other people from really carrying the day, but if one of the platoons has a good game and one has a bad, that very well may seal the outcome. So starting off, this is an assault, an encounter mode. So there's just one flag, and it starts across the map. It's over in the BC9 area. And so there's 2 strategies. You can kind of rush over there and try to fight at the flag, or you can secure the backside of the fight, which is going on here on this 1-2 line, and try and, if you can win this flank, then you're pushing behind the enemy, and they've got a two flank encounter, and that's difficult to deal with. You can't really angle your armor. You can only shoot at one thing at a time. So I've tried to stymie this push on the backside here, but you can see the numbers just do not support it. There are at least 6 or 7 tanks from the enemy team pushing aggressively up this side, and we've already lost 1 tank, and there's only 2 or 3 of us left. We're badly outnumbered, so I need to get out of there. So rather than fight a losing battle and throw away my tank, I decide to make a hasty retreat, but I am being punished for it. It doesn't matter that I'm traveling at nearly 60 kilometers per hour laterally across the face of those tanks. They are putting in some really well-aimed sniper shots, and I've lost half of my hit points before I have done a single bit of damage to the enemy team. No worries, though. We have gotten out of there, and we're now pushing towards the cap circle, and at this point, there's an argument to start capping. We've got 5 guys down around the cap circle, and the scores are 3-3, but it's looking really bad. The enemy is going to come up behind us. They're going to clean out our artillery, and they're going to be pushing towards us. So, that's kind of the discussion that we're having right now. Should we cap, or should we continue to try and battle this out and dig in and support each other and try to take out the enemy somewhere? So, again, the scores are close enough that we don't need to give up just yet. So we're down 1 tank. The enemy is pushing through. They've taken out both of our artillery pieces at this point. So we have a couple guys jump in the cap circle and apply some pressure. But if you're counting the numbers, you can see there were, 6, 7 tanks pushing up the 1-2 line. We know that we've killed 4. We know that 2 are artillery. So there's not much left that's unaccounted for. So a couple of us decide to push into the enemy starting point and try to take out 1 or 2 of their tanks that are playing defense, as well as the artillery. That will once again even the fight. If we can do that quickly without the rest of our forces that are kind of pressuring the cap circle before they get overwhelmed, right? If we take out 2 of their tanks but have to sacrifice 2 of our own to do it, that doesn't really help our situation because we're already down. But here we go. We have spotted the enemy artillery. There's the M44. It's an American Tier 6 artillery piece. We fully aim, which takes forever in the Type 59, and I think it went below the crossbar and above the gun. Oh my god, the Type 59 is frustrating for me sometimes. And then that long reload before I can even get a second shot, one of my allies takes out the artillery, but still a good result. Both enemy artillery are out. It is 6-6. The cap is going well. We're at 22 seconds, and hey, if we win it, we win it. But it doesn't look like it. I think right now we're telling our ally in the cap, get out, run if you can, save your tank. You've done your job. And the rest of us here are going to try and take out as many of these straggling tanks as we can. So we've got a hammer on the enemy team, Tier 7 German premium tank. That was one of the reward tanks that you could earn this past year. Nice, solid, heavy tank, performs kind of like a medium. We do take it out, and again, scores are tied, and now we even go up 1, 8-7. This is a crazy back and forth close battle, but the enemy has arrived at the cap circle. They are getting off interrupting shots. We can see there's at least 3 tanks. It's 3-on-3. There's another 2 coming, and we now have to decide how to approach this. So we could rush back, try to support our base defenders, but I don't think that's going to work. They're a little bit far away. The enemy has them surrounded. Rather than do that where the enemy is strongest, if they've got 5 tanks there of their 6 or 7 left, they do have these 2 stragglers back here, these slow heavies. If we can take them out, once again, we'll maintain the number at least tie or try to gain an advantage again. So we've got an Oho Japanese heavy tank, and he does get taken out, not by me once again, by one of my allies. And then we see a T-29 on full health. That is a dangerous target, even for a tier 8 tank. But in the meantime, we've got a Tiger, and we fully aim, and again, the shot goes low. It dips into the bankment there. I did load the premium rounds. It was for the Oho, those Japanese super heavy tanks. If you're driving one of them, I'll shoot once and try to get you a flat piece of armor that has some of those weak points. But if I'm at range, the premium rounds coming out because they were made to take out those tanks. The armor on those things is ridiculous, and the Type 59's penetration it's okay. It's not great. So I did have the premium rounds loaded. I didn't deselect them there. Thankfully, the second shot did go into the Tiger's turret. And again, this is going to be so close at the end here. I want every shot to count. We're going after a T-29, another well-armored tank. And this is great. It's 4-4 in terms of the tanks, but we've got a 3-on-1 situation over here. And there we go. The T-29 is eliminated, but it looks like it's probably going to cost us our straggling tank over by the enemy base, or by the neutral base, and it does. So now, 3v3. 2 of the tanks left are on the enemy team. All 3 of us are in a platoon, so we can work together here. They're in the cap circle, they're capping, and we decide to communicate here, and it's great being on a mic, it's great playing in a platoon. You really can take advantage of these situations. So, my allies, one of them is very badly damaged, so the 2 of them are going up high. They're going to come down the B line, while I come around the backside, and hopefully I'm able to interrupt, get some free shots in, and that way we're distracting them, we're coming at them from multiple angles, and it'll be tougher for them to deal with. T-34 on full health. Oh, that's not what you want to see in this situation. I take a shot at the side of the turret, but that's really not what we're trying to do here. So I pull back, and I kind of make it seem like I wait until I drop off the radar, and then I advance again. And I say I'm going to go even farther on the flank as my allies push in from the front. We're trying to coordinate this. We want to attack at the exact same time. There's a Tiger. It's on half health. That's a decent target. The armor on that I can definitely get through if I find a flat surface. And we're going to see, well, there's one more tank that's in there, and it's a T-54 Mod 1. Oh, boy, on full health. So none of these tanks are very weak. We're going to try and get one shot in and get the cap interrupted. It looks like the T-54 Mod 1 took one, so now I'm going to switch to the Tiger. We get an ammo rack shot in. He's taken a couple of hits from my allies, and now I know if he hasn't used his repair kit, he's using it now, and boom, with the headshot, destroying the ammo rack on the Tiger. Great result there. Now we've got the T-54 Mod 1, a really well-armored tank from the front. Thankfully, he over-angles the side. I'm able to go through the side of his armor. And then, oh, if I could get the hull of that T-34, that would be great. Get that gun down. Gun depression, not a strength of the Type 59. It's okay, but it's not a strength. So now the T-54 Mod 1 is on a 1-hit. He shoots at my ally up on the hill, so I know I've got a chance here. We're going to go for the drive wheel, lock him in place. The shot goes through. He's eliminated. It's a 2v1. Here we go. T-34 on 80% of his health. He fires and misses. I'm on half of my health. I switch to my regular ammo now. I think 2-on-1 situation. If we can attack at the same time, we will have this. If he can take out one of us and then challenge the other, it's going to be tough. So I'm climbing the hill. I'm telling my buddy, don't engage, try to pull back, but he's downhill. The one advantage that you have in this situation, if you're the T-34, is you have the high ground, you have momentum, so he can charge down the hill, build up some speed, and approach the Type 59. I'm running over here as quickly as I can, saying, hang in there, I'm coming. And so that's one thing to keep in mind. If you have a one-on-one situation, if you can get the high ground, that's great, because then you can get a run on the guy, run past his gun, get around behind him, and get a free shot in. So I'm almost here, but no, my ally gets taken out. It's going to be a one-on-one fight. The T-34 is on more health than me, but I have some advantages. I have the speed advantage, I have the mobility, and I have the turret strength, and also I'm a little bit shorter. So I put one into the rear of the tank. I put a second in. My reload's going to be a little bit better than his, and now I'm trying to face hug here, and I play it wrong. Great shot by the T-34 there. Goes into my turret. Wouldn't think that would go through, but he's probably firing premium rounds at this point too. But I'm able to... There we go. That's the juke. That's a great juke. We maneuver his gun traverse, put one in, and end the fight. So, a victory there. My allies were cheering for me over the mics as I was going at the last fight there with the T-34. A great feeling to be able to pull that off. Probably not the best way to approach that fight. If I could do it again, if I could give myself Unicum skills, I think what would be the best way to go about it would be to come down, get behind him, shoot one into the tracks, take the tracks off, and then circle around and continue to take the tracks off, because then I would definitely beat the gun traverse, rather than I kind of goofed the approach, bumped into the rear of the tank, got a little bit stuck there, and then I had to do the face hugs, wiggle back and forth, which is still a viable tactic. That's probably the second best answer there. If you're in his face and your reload's faster, you know you can fire, you're lower than them, so you can hit their hull reliably. They just are aiming at your turret, and if you juke back and forth, they may fire when they're not lined up, they may get a bounce, whatever. So, yeah, again, if you have a different approach there, if you think there was a really good way to do it, better than the way that I handled it, please feel free to leave a comment, let me know. I would love to hear somebody else's take on the situation. I think the best way would have been to go for those tracking shots and then circle. Instead, I screwed up the approach a little bit, so I went with the face hug and the wiggle back and forth. Still worked out, a great result. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that and found it interesting. A quick look now at the post-battle result. So just shy of 3,000 damage and 5,000 XP. That was, of course, doubled for our first win of the day. 123,000 silver. The best thing about the Type 59, it's a good tank. It's solid. The premium matchmaking is ridiculous. But man, when it comes to printing silver, maybe the Yag Tiger 88 is your flavor, but for me, I need a turret, a medium tank, and this thing just prints the silver. So hopefully you guys took advantage of the chance to get it recently. If you're looking for a tank that makes silver, I really don't think I could recommend any tank better than the Type 59, just for sheer value in terms of making you silver. We did block a couple shots there, 740 damage blocked. We did assist a little bit. We had 4 kills, and we detected 5 tanks early on there when we were trying to hold the back side. And all that was just enough for a second class mastery badge. This is a tank that people do very well in very often. Then we'll take a quick look at the team results, and we can see that the platoon had a nice outcome here. And it looks like we were 1 short of a crucial contribution. I think we had 11 kills among the platoon. A really nice result. 4 of the top 5 performers there. And I think the one Vile Leprechaun, I think, was holding the back flank there and got overwhelmed. So great result for the platoon. Really well working together. Big shout out to my teammates. Games like this are all about the teamwork. If everybody hadn't performed their role and communicated, from trying to hold the backside to make that advance around the top a little bit slower, from holding the cap circle, making more of the tanks go to the cap, to pushing on the enemy artillery, to rushing those 2 heavy tanks that were kind of straggling while the rest of the enemy pushed into the cap circle, to the coordinated attack at the end of the game. That was great. Really good communication, a solid plan, executed not quite to perfection, but executed very well. And then just a little bit of heroics at the end there. Not performed flawlessly, but good enough to get the win. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. If you did, please feel free to like and comment. And as always, keep it tuned here to Meat City Gaming for all your future World of Tanks content. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.